Yadacha ko papanam Yadacha ko papanam Sarvadavarm apiratam Sarvadavarm apiratam Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Labhante yadam isardam. Happy are the Kshatriyas, O Partha, for whom such a war comes of its own accord as an open door to heaven. Sri Krishna says that this war comes on its own accord and Arjun should not see it as a war, rather an open door from the heaven for him. Why? Because Ishardam yadam sukhina kshatriya labinte, meaning that only fortunate Kshatriyas get to fight in war like this. Because Arjun did not wish for this war, did not want possessions, did not want the kingdom, did not want anything. He wanted to protect Dharma and the righteous Karma Yoga that Sri Krishna is going to talk about it later. Yet he is still running away. Priceless opportunities rarely come in life. One must learn to recognize these opportunities and must be prepared thoroughly to take these opportunities. In most cases, people wait for their lives but never get these opportunities. Once it comes, then you must learn to grab hold of it. There's an American tycoon by the name of Morgan who has asked how he managed to have so many possessions and so much of success. Morgan said that it is very simple. As soon as an opportunity comes, then I jump for it. He was then asked, how can one tell when that opportunity comes? Because we often see opportunities, but only after they have gone and then they look nice. Morgan says, you can never tell, but you have to keep jumping. If we keep trying and trying and trying, then opportunity will come. This opportunity comes right in front of Arjun, and yet he is thinking of leaving such a great chance. One cannot do this. One thinker has written a very nice piece saying, in this world, different varnas have come to rule. Since the beginning of the time, the great thinker says that there are around up to 1,500 years ago, the Brahmins rule. Now we'll see how the different varnas that we understood, Brahman, Shudras and Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, how these three varnas rule the world. So, Brahmins ruled the world around 1,500 years ago. In all Asian stories, rishis were given the greatest respect. Indian stories were about rishis. All kings always used to ask rishis first about what they should do. In the same way, in ancient Greece, the aristocrats used to rule. There was lot of peace and wealth in the world. Then the rule of Kshatriyas began all over the world. It is the nature of Kshatriyas to make war, and therefore when the Kshatriyas started ruling, then all the wars started. People started fighting over the wealth and power. Then the rule of Vaishyas came about 200 years ago. European merchants went all over the world and they started their business. Wherever they went from these businesses and trades, they started to rule. Basically, they were traders and they started ruling. This led to industrialization and commercialization. Everything became to do with commerce. Around 200 years ago, money was not a big thing in the world. It was barter system. This was an exchange system. A farmer had food and would go to a tailor to exchange food for clothes. Value was not in money, but whatever the opposite person had. Everything they needed for certain worked, everything they needed for a certain time was traded. There was no such thing as hard cash, and there was no need for it. Everything worked well under the barter system. But when the traders came, then wealth became important. The value of everything was defined in terms of money. The whole exchange system became established. This was a consequence of rules of Vaishyas. When Guruji says when he was young, he used to trade money for mangoes. So in exchange of mangoes, when he wanted mangoes, he would take some rice and get mangoes in exchange. That was barter system. When Vaishyas came into rule, when traders came into rule, money became more important. After that, the rule of Shudras also came. There was a Russian Revolution in 1917. The result of that was communism. The common farmer became the ruler. The most common man became the ruler. In slightly different way, the democracy we have in the world, in few countries, is ruled by laborers and common people. All of this led to the rule of Shudras. We have seen the result of all these different rules. Thinkers believe that this wheel will turn again, and the time is near that throughout the world Brahmins and intellectuals will start ruling. Diyo Vaishya Rijati. It is human intellect that rules the world, and only then will peace prevail in the world. This because if Kshatriya rulers go after power, then it will not work. If Vaishyas go after wealth, then it will not work. And Shudras just want revenge. For example, in Russia, the farmer said, "You are ruling over us, and now we will rule over you." The union would harass the employers, and business would not work. We are suffering consequences of union activities. Industry is being finished. Once again, the rule of Brahmins or intellect will come, and the peace, wealth, oneness in society will come back. This was a bit of this was about how Varna system and how different phases of Varna system ruled in the world. But Sri Krishna is telling Arjun that what is in front of him may seem like a problem or difficulty. But in fact, Arjun is fortunate that it is presented itself in front of him. Robert Beck, a thinker, has written nicely that there is no such thing as a problem without a gift for you in its hand. You seek problems because you need their gifts. When we have a problem, then we feel it is very difficult, but when we get past the difficulty, then we talk about it with pride, that it was because of God's grace we got through it. When did God's grace come? It is when the problem came. Difficulties make a person improve. It is only because problems that people develop. Therefore, the Lord is telling Arjun that the problem has come so that Arjun can develop. Otherwise, what is the purpose of life? Whatever development there has been in the world is because of problems and difficulties. Whenever human beings have faced problems, after solving these problems, society has advanced. Shri Krishna is therefore telling Arjun to fight. A famous thinker, Theodore, said that he never expected this in Gita. He read the Gita, and the first chapter seemed normal as Arjun was saying that he does not want to fight. But where Shri Krishna says that Arjun should fight, and he never imagined the story would take such a big turn. He thought that God would tell Arjun that it is good to leave the battlefield, but God is telling him to go and do the war. It is giving such solid reason for Arjun to go for the war. In fact, Shri Krishna is saying that Arjun does not go for war, it will incur sin. The whole world says that it is a sin to go to war. But in Mahabharata war is such that Shri Krishna is telling Arjun that he will incur sin if he does not go for war. And this is highlighted in the next verse. So we'll go to verse 33.